Ahead of the festive season, the prices of gold have touched an all-time high, with the rupee has fallen for a record low. The rate of gold per 10 gram has crossed 1,04,000 mark for several parts of the country. But according to analysis, gold prices may see even higher swings later this week. Here's a report.
Even as Prime Minister Narendra Modi was creating headlines in the Chinese showpiece city of Tianjin, grabbing global attention as he met Chinese President Xi Jinping. Optics at the time of shifting geopolitics. Back home, India's economic numbers gave markets plenty to talk about. A day after GDP numbers shocked economic observers, buying returned to the Dalal Street, gold and silver hit a record high and the rupee slipped to a record low. It started on Friday with GDP numbers putting the country's economic growth at its fastest pace in 15 months. The services sector led the way from IT to financial services, while agriculture showed resilience that few expected. Huge government spendings helped. Economists also point to front-loading of exports ahead of new US tariffs, which added momentum to growth. Meanwhile, precious metals, gold and silver, hit record highs as tariff uncertainties, coupled with festive season demand, pulled the buyers in. The yellow metal is seeing a surge in safe haven demand. Central banks across the world are also piling up on gold. In India, a weak rupee contributed to the rise as well. Gold crossed the 1,04,000 mark per 10 grams for the first time in Delhi spot market, with October futures close to 1,06,000 mark. Silver, which has been placed in the critical minerals list by the US, leaped past the 1,20,000 rupees per kilo mark, up nearly 6,000 rupees in a single day.
Particularly when things are not going great, when there are earnings downgrades or there is uncertainty around the world, this is one segment which, in my opinion, will hold up relatively better off. So while one is not giving a directional view on precious metals, I think in the asset allocation for investors who are listening onto this show, the allocation towards these two asset classes, which are equities and precious metals, should certainly be higher on a structural basis than what it has been in the last 5 years.
But not all the headlines were positive. The Indian rupee slipped to a record low against the US dollar, tracing slide that began on Friday. The rupee slipped to an all-time low of 88.33 to the dollar before recovering at the end of the trade. Analysts say the Reserve Bank of India is letting the Indian currency take its own course, with the fall likely to give relief to exporters facing tariff headwinds. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.